Good evening, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Turn Left. I am your host, Indiana's own Dana Black, coming to you live. Yes, all the way live from Black Pearl Studios, where we talk about Indiana politics from the left side of things. Okay, I could be like super hype and all the things, but yo, this world is upside down, inside out, and all the things wrong. There's a lot happening. I know if you're like me, you're a little stressed about, where our country is going to go moving forward, because we have a lot of people who really don't care about folks that are not like them. They just want what they want for themselves, and they'll do anything for it. So normally, y'all know I stay at the top of the ticket. I mean, within the borders, and I avoid the top of the ticket. But I think tonight I'm going to lead off with the things that have been happening around the country, because those things are going to come back and impact us. And because we have two maggots that are running for governor and lieutenant governor on the top of the ticket. Plus we got, you saw crazy, just weak-spined Jim Banks sitting right next to the Orange Menace at the RNC. He's a puppet. Attorney General Todd Rokita is a puppet. They are all a part of this cult. They are all a part of this nonsense. First up, Supreme Court decides that it's okay to give partial immunity to the President of the United States. Now, I know they think this is a good thing for them because, when Trump gets in office, he will be able to do whatever he wants to do. But, in my opinion, I know Biden won't do it. But, you got immunity, bro. And Donald Trump is a national threat. Donald Trump and Project 2025 is a national threat. They are a national threat to our security, our all of those things. So I don't know why somebody in the Biden administration, and I know they're not going to do it because they're not vindictive like that. They're not hateful like that. They're not mean like that. They're just not going to do it. And I get it, right? I get it. They're not going to do it. I get it. But man, I wish somebody would just say, you know what, just go on and shut him down, because he's got 35 felony charges, which now he's not been sentenced for. And Judge Eileen Cannon just decided that, you know what, those stolen documents that the clown took, an orange clown took national security documents home to Mar-a-Lago and then bragged about it and showed it off to friends. I need y'all to understand what's happening here, right? Showed it off to friends. Something is wrong with all of this. Is this a concerted effort to take us to a place as a nation that we really shouldn't be trying to go? Is this a concerted effort? I'm beginning to think it is, because for 3 weeks straight, MSNBC couldn't talk about nothing but the debate. Like there was no other news going on around the world, around the country, other than Biden's poor performance. And since then, they've been talking about throw Biden out. For who? But y'all don't say, listen, it's time to put Kamala in there. Y'all not even talking about the vice president. Oh, y'all don't want the black woman? Oh, maybe y'all trying to throw him out because you don't want the black woman. Listen, I'm not wishing no ill nothing on President Biden. Not at all. That's who I'm voting for. That's my guy. It's a binary decision. If we had multiple parties, maybe there would be something else to vote for. But doggone it, when it comes to democracy and saving this country, all we got on the ballot right now is Joe Biden. And what y'all also forget to understand when y'all calling for Biden's head, who got the money? Biden got all the money. He got the millions of dollars that it's going to take. He got more money than Trump right now to run the ads that he needs to run. Right? And he doesn't have to relinquish that money. He doesn't have. So why y'all asking for people to give up their duly elected? Because look, there were other people in the primary. Did nobody vote for him? But here's the thing. If he does not make it through, what's wrong with Kamala? Ain't nothing wrong with Kamala. I think it would be a damn good thing that she become the president if something were to happen to our 81-year-old president. So I think the ticket is fine just the way it is. And everybody need to sit down and shut up. But that's just me. Because with y'all out here making people feel what they feeling and going through what they going through, and if Trump wins, my life and the things that I care about and how I want to live are in jeopardy. You know, there's a Republican that comes on my Facebook page every now and then, and he wanted to talk about how, you know, what are the threats that he needs to be worried about. I said, bro, you appear to be a white, straight man. You ain't got nothing to worry about no matter what happens. You're going to be good. Or at least it's going to appear that way until they come for you for whatever reason they come for you for. There's a problem here, y'all. You got the Supreme Court saying that a president has immunity, which Biden won't use. You have Judge Eileen Cannon, who threw out the documents case. And you got the news media and everybody around trying to push out Biden. I want everybody to sit down. That's what I want. I get that Joe Biden is not a perfect candidate. I get that he has a stutter, but he's got the money, he's got the infrastructure, and he's got a record to run on. He's got a solid record of helping Americans. Y'all don't even want to talk about that. Y'all don't even want to talk about how he brought the jobs that, some of them were jobs that were lost in the pandemic, but he grew jobs that were not lost through the pandemic. The Chips and Science Act, the infrastructure plan, things that he got done. Student loan forgiveness. You know what? They don't want y'all. It's not conspiracy theory or anything like that, but why don't they want you to have some more disposable income by forgiving student loans when this is a consumer economy? Because if you are indebted, then you will take and do whatever when you're desperate. So you will take those low paying jobs to do what you got to do to pay those bills. And then to listen, because, I got to listen, got to do my homework. Listening to the RNC, they are freaking gaslighting us on that, whatever that nonsense is. And then finally, somebody, tries to shoot the former Orange Menace. They tried to shoot him. They missed. And I'm trying really hard to have the necessary human reaction that I would have to someone being shot. I really am. I'm trying. But and I don't believe in political violence at all, but as Black people, we used to being victims of political violence. So it ain't like it's a new thing for us, right? I mean, every time we was trying to vote in the 60s, there was some political violence, right? Fred Hampton got blown to smithereens while he was sleeping in his bed by the FBI. You know what I'm saying? Medgar Evers was shot in his driveway. You know what I'm saying? We used to it. Fannie Lou Hamer was beaten and raped while she was in jail. They did it to the women too. So we know about political violence. It's been happening ever since we were shackled and chained and made it through the Middle Passage. We know about it. We've been trying to tell y'all about it. Y'all don't be listening. But now the guy that sat around and did nothing but incite violence for the last 8 years. Talked about if a guy like that came in a place like this, we do something about it. Or drag him out of here. I'll pay your bail. He's been inciting violence for the last 8 years. And now I'm struggling to have that natural human reaction that you were supposed to have when somebody is harmed. I'm struggling. I'm human. I ain't perfect. But I'm struggling with it because he laughed. He laughed at Nancy Pelosi's husband who got beaten in the head with a hammer by one of his minions. He laughed. They tried to kidnap Gretchen Whitmer. There were good people on both sides in Charlottesville. These are all things that he incited. And so In the words of Malcolm X, chickens came home to roost. Chickens came home to roost. I don't want nothing to happen to nobody. I don't want nobody dead. And I wish people who are struggling with mental health didn't have easy access to AR-15s. Why do you need an AR-15? Why do you need a gun? Why do they have access to guns? You rile these people up, you wind them up like toys, and then you point them in a direction and say, go. They got to do something with that energy, and they go pick up a gun, and they shoot up a school, they shoot up a church, they shoot up a synagogue, they shoot up a concert, they shoot up a movie theater. They will shoot up anything because you done wound them up. You're not giving them hope. You're giving them something to be shitty about. Give them hope. But nah, they don't want to do that. And then they're passing laws to make it easier, as I said in my speech on Saturday, to get the necessary weapons. In Indiana, you can go get a weapon. You don't even need a permit, license, nothing. Background checks are nil, minimum. You can just have had the worst traumatic experience of your life, and 24 hours later, go get a gun and shoot somebody with it. Here we are, y'all. So what are we going to do about it? Are we going to do anything about it? Are we going to say, you know what? I'm a ride with Biden. This is our guy, because it will take too much to stand up infrastructure for somebody else to run a 50-state campaign. Why don't people understand that? He's not, and he said he ain't stepping down, so stop asking. People ask me to do stuff all the time, and I tell you people stop asking because it ain't going to happen. But on a positive note, because what's happening at the national level should have everybody nervous and worried and motivated to get out and vote. You got to get out and vote. If we don't get out and vote, this could be it. This is not, there won't be a next season, people. Angela Rye said it on the Native Land Pod. This is not the end of one season and the beginning. This is not a reality TV show. Our lives will never be the same. There are people in this country who want to push women and people of color and gay folk to the back of the bus again. They don't want us to have opportunities. You know why? Because mediocre white dudes, not great white dudes, because there's great white dudes out there and some of them are my friends, right? Mediocre white dudes don't want to have to compete, punks. Compete. But on a positive note, we had our convention. Democrats had our convention this past weekend, and we elected our LG. We elected our attorney general. It was a great turnout. There were almost 2,000 delegates there. So our ticket goes as follows. Jennifer McCormick is running for governor, and she chose Terry Gooden, who won by a landslide, over four candidates. He won by a landslide for LG. Dr. Valerie McRae is our state Senate candidate, U.S. Senate candidate. And Destiny Wells is going to be our AG candidate. Okay, now look, guys, Jim Banks is garbage. Tyra Keita is garbage. Mike Braun is garbage. These are all garbage people, but Maya Beckwith is a threat. Maya Beckwith should be nowhere near our state house influencing policy. He's already said he want to be everybody should be a white Christian nationalist. If y'all don't know what that stuff means, go look it up. He's telling us that we should be, because I can never be a white Christian nationalist, that we should be, that our country was founded on Christianity. Go look it up. There are multiple points in our Constitution where, no, we are a secular nation, but we will not infringe on your religion. And these clowns got it all messed up. It kills me how they talk about they want to go back to the Constitution, but then they mess up what the Constitution says. I'm just saying. So, guys, this is what we got. It's July. It's the middle of July. We got a couple more months. Once Labor Day kicks in, you guys have to be committed to this. Time, talent, or treasure. Find a candidate to work for. Up and down the ballot. We only need to flip 4 seats in the House to end the supermajority. Can we please just do that? In the supermajorities. That's what we need. Maybe it's the Senate. I can't remember. Y'all know. But can we elect some folks up and down the ballot? Can we turn out? Can we donate to these campaigns so they can be effective? And can we give some of our time and talent to help these candidates at all levels. Please, y'all, I implore you. Our lives depend on it. Our lives depend on it. This ain't no joke. I'm not so sure there was an assassination attempt, but I don't know. I don't know. I feel bad for the folks that died. Ain't nobody said nothing about the people that died, because I sure asked the question. Guys, wake up. This ain't a game. You can't turn it off, put your joystick down, and come back to it again in the morning, because it'll be gone. The great experiment will be over. And that is no joke, and it's not hyperbolic. All right, that's my rant. Now it's time for Bohm's Unique Boutique. Today's show is brought to you by Bohm's Unique Boutique. Click on the QR code. And for all Turn Left listeners, you can get a 10% discount on your order by using the code DEMOCRAT. Be sure to visit www.bohmsuniqueboutique.com. Democrats, are you looking for an affordable digital content creation solution? Then look no further than Black Pearl IT Solutions and Black Pearl Studios. Indiana's own Dana Black is providing many of the communication wraparound services any Democratic organization needs. No matter the size of the budget, Indiana's own and Black Pearl Studios have you covered. Just scan the QR code or visit www.blackpearl-its.com. All right. Now it's time for my favorite part of the show, which is getting the opportunity to talk to my guests, because this is what the show is all about, is to bring you the guests who are on your ballot so you can learn who they are and find out how you can help them. First up, I'm going in alphabetical order. Running for Indiana House District 41 is Dan Sykes. Dan, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me. I'm excited to be here.
I love it. And also, Laura Williamson, who is a candidate for Clark County Commissioner District 2. Laura, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. Good evening.
So first I got to ask, how did you guys enjoy Big Dem weekend if you were able to attend? Dan, I know you were there. How did you enjoy it?
It was great to see the other side of politics. Like, I've always followed it, C-SPAN, the news, anything on the internet that I can sink my teeth into, and obviously have to research to make sure that it's not false information.
Right.
But it was great to just see that side of things and see the election of our Lieutenant Governor and Attorney General.
Love it. And what about you, Laura?
I enjoyed it. Yeah, the energy was great.
Good.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited about our ticket this year.
I love it. All right. Was there anything in my rant that you guys wanted to comment on? I had a lot to say tonight.
I do find it funny that the supporters of the right are accusing Democrats that's tried to ban AR-15s of trying to assassinate someone with the weapon that we try to ban.
That is ironic, isn't it? It makes absolutely no sense. What about you, Laura?
It's just concerning to me that it's so easy for someone to get those types of weapons. As I'm a responsible gun owner, I feel that it's just like a license to drive a car. You know, you need to be trained. You need to actually, you know, there are some situations where people that need help shouldn't have such easy access,
right,
to weapons of war. Basically, that's what those are.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And he missed. Okay, so I'm not going to say nothing else about that. All right, Dan, tell the people who you are and where you come from.
Well, I was born and raised in Lafayette, Indiana. Graduated from Harrison High School in 2002. I went into the Army National Guard as an infantryman after that. Then I entered the workforce after I was discharged and just tried to find my footing. I decided to go to school, went to Ivy Tech, got my associates in business. Then I went to Rasmussen University, that's in Florida. I got my bachelor's in business there too. And then finally I went to Purdue, my hometown college, for my MBA.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I like education for some reason.
Wait, we love the highly educated on the Democratic Party side.
It tends to follow the left side. It really does. Sorry, I'm never good at
That's all
describing
right.
myself.
That's all right.
I
Well, I will ask you questions then. What was it? Was there anything in your upbringing or your family life that you saw that you may one day go into public service?
Nothing. My parents were the two things you don't discuss in life is religion and politics. And I lived by that motto until I was probably, I don't know, 20, after I was in the military, and they kind of make you take an interest in politics. So I felt I needed to know everything I possibly could, and it just went from there. Like, my dad's never voted, my mom had never voted.
Oh no.
So no, it was not a political household at all. I just see that change needs to happen, and I acted.
Okay. Now, did your military training give you an opportunity to see society differently, or was there something about being in the military that helped you? Because a lot of people think folks that go in the military are on the right. I disagree with that.
I was very shy and quiet before I went in, and then I met so many diverse people that I didn't get to encounter being here in Lafayette, Indiana. I got to see that there are more than just what's here in the world. And that was very eye-opening to see. We had a few, I guess, non-American born soldiers, a couple from Canada, one from Mexico. It was great to interact with another culture because I'd never done it at that point. So I would say the Army kind of rounded me in the aspect of there is more to this life than just the people that's in front of you in Lafayette.
I love it. And when you got out of the military and you began to think about your life beyond the military, how did those years in the military shape the direction of your, because you said sounds like you're a lifelong learner, right? So talk about what it was like once you came out of the military and the direction of your life.
Well, see, I wasn't always a lifelong learner. I was actually a horrible student in high school. I was C average because that's what I needed to have to play sports. That was my concern in high school. So learning wasn't really that big of a deal to me. And I'd say after the Army, when I wanted to learn more about politics, I actually leaned towards the right because I just didn't understand. And I just heard, most people in the military, I would say, are right, but not all. I will agree with you there. But that was what I encountered mostly, was the right. So I assumed that was the way to go. But getting the college education, it taught me that life sucks, the economy sucks, that we all just need to stick it together in this mess of the world.
I love it. I love it. It sounds like you're a super humble guy. The idea that I can talk about me all day long. I'm the greatest. I'm gonna pour some of that. I'm gonna pour some of that into you. We gonna. It sounds like you're still a little shy. As someone who is so shy, how has it been for you running for office?
I'm just shy right now. I wouldn't even say I'm shy because I'm talking more than just one word responses. I would say I'm an introverted extrovert. I can turn it on when I need to. Like, I was working with Carl Cease, I believe his name. He's running for District 38 House Rep. And he didn't feel comfortable just approaching people. And I had to just grab him by the arm and say, all right, let's go. We were at the fair, the Clinton County Fair, Tuesday, and I was just taking him with me, just walk up to people, introduce myself. Listen, it's like a light switch for me. But I will say, after a long week of doing that, my spoons are depleted and I need to recharge.
Baby, I understand. I usually take Sundays to recharge myself. All right, Laura, tell the people who you are and where you come from.
Yeah. Well, my name is Laura Williamson. I was born and raised in a small town, Sellersburg, Indiana,
Been there?
very far south. I was raised on the Floyd County side. Sellersburg kind of, the address kind of goes Floyd County, Clark County.
Mm-hmm.
So I went to Floyd County schools. I graduated a very long time ago, way longer than Dan, from high school in New Albany. I've actually got my 40th high school reunion this year. So
I'm right there with you, sis.
Yeah, I spent my summers on my grandma's farm, which is right around the corner in Clark County. I've lived in Clark County, though, for a very long time. Very long time. I'm a wife. I've been married for 21 years this year. My husband's been on the fire department locally for almost 25 years this year.
Congratulations.
He's a veteran. We do a lot of public service in the community. We are active with the Legion. We support Supporting Heroes. I'm a mom. I have 3 kids. 2 girls, they're both in their 30s. And then I have a 17-year-old son who is going to be a senior this year.
Okay, so you wanted a little gap in there. You want to start over.
A little bit. Yeah. The girls, that was with the starter husband. So, yeah.
Not the starter husband. I haven't heard that before. I've heard of a starter house, but never a starter husband. That is so. I'm writing.
I had a starter husband.
Yeah. Oh wow.
So,
okay.
Yeah.
So were you talked about how you and your husband now, who was a firefighter, who is obviously into service. Have you always been in service? Have you always wanted to be community oriented?
I don't know about community yeah, I guess so. I went after high school. I took classes. I worked my way into, I did payroll for a long time, but I worked my way into human resources. And when I was a human resources director, I would get involved in the community. I helped serve on a welfare to work board. We had a lot of employees that were single moms. So that was always, I was a single mom for a while. So that was always something to try to find them affordable housing, to find any kind of resources that they can use, affordable daycare, things like that. So, those are the kind of things that always I gravitated to. Here recently, with the crazy extremist mentality in that political arena that we have now, we've had a lot of corruption in our county. And that's been a very bad disservice to our community. The person, and I'm not even going to name his name, that's a quick Google search on Clark County corruption. You can find him real quick. Stole a lot of money. And he just happened to run the EMS service. Now we are in a dire situation with our EMS service. And quite frankly, I got pissed off and I ran. I'm running. I want to fix this problem. We shouldn't have to worry about EMS service in our county, not with a county this size.
I love it. You know what? You're not the first person from Clark County, and everyone who's come on from Clark County has talked about, the situation down there, and everyone has talked about the EMS service.
Yes.
Before we dive into real policies, though, I know you see it firsthand with your husband being a firefighter. Talk to the people about how dire it is that your EMS service is shaky right now.
Well, right now, and to go back a little bit, when me and my husband first met, he was in the fire. He had been in the fire department for a while. And they had a huge fire, and people were talking, on social media, people were calling, hey, is Brent at that fire, blah, 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 blah. And I got worried, upset. And after that, I started listening to a scanner. And I've told several people, and I firmly believe that any of our community commissioners, council, mayors, city leaders, they need to have a scanner. They need to be able to turn it on. They don't have to listen to it 24/7. Sure. You turn that sucker on for 30 minutes and you know what's going on in your community. You'll hear your firefighters. Where's my EMS? They're working a major scene on the expressway where there is some serious injuries. They're yelling, where's my EMS? Your state police, they're working accident scenes. Where's my EMS? They haven't shown up yet.
Mm.
You get 911, you'll hear them call across the radio. Hey, this lady's called back. What's your ETA? That's concerning. That's worse than concerning, you know, and as a mom, as a grandma, as a wife, we shouldn't have to worry about that. If we pick up our phone and dial 911, there shouldn't be any calling them back.
Right. It should only be one call.
You know, yeah. I mean, showing up without the equipment that they need on the ambulance, showing up late, putting calls on hold. I heard that today on the scanner.
And this is after the guy is gone.
After the guy's gone.
Oh,
after the
wow.
guys. Well, the same people are still running it. Unfortunately, they've had a lot of people quit, and they have they still have people that care, that they care, but they're running short. They're running ragged. Some of these people, boots on the ground, people on the street, the ones that are showing up, it's not their fault that they're behind. We have a contract that states, and this company has had this contract for a long time and has been renewed 3 years at a time.
Rubber stamped.
And there's been these problems from the very beginning, not as dire as it is now, but they've been a problem.
Wow. Thanks for sharing that with us. Guys, if you're down in Clark County, you know, your county commissioners are the executive level down there. The council votes on the budget, but the commissioners are your executive level branch for the county. So y'all need to be paying attention. Indiana's own Dana Black. I am talking to Dan Sykes, who is running for Indiana House District 41, and Laura Williamson, who is running for Clark County Commissioner District 2. Hey, remember I talked about how you got to have some time, talent, and or treasure? Click the donate link, guys.
Yes.
Click the donate link. There's a donate link for these candidates. I turn every one of these shows into a fundraiser. So please click the link and show your support. If you can give $5 today, that will go a long way. If you can give $10 or if you can give $500, I don't want to be in your pocket. I don't know what you can do. You probably can give $5,000. I'm not going to be in your pocket. But whatever you can give, help these candidates out. And every week we raise money for our Democratic candidates right here on Turn Left. All right, guys, you know, let's get into the meat of things, Dan. You know, why are you running for office, sir?
So it started when the LEAP project was announced. And for those that don't know what the LEAP project is, it's called the LEAP District. It's in the industrial park in Lebanon, Indiana. What they are trying to do there is just get a bunch of corporations, factories there to grow their economy, but unfortunately they don't have the water. Actually, the city is being sued for $25 million by a contractor. I don't recall his name, but he is suing the city because he was promised a chance to come into that park, but because Lilly came in and claimed all the water, he's out of luck. But what they're trying to do is take a pipeline, start it at the Wabash River in Lafayette and run it 53 miles down to Lebanon. They want to pump out 100 million gallons of water a day to run this park. Now, when they did a test site, it dropped the well that they tested it on by 4 feet, and that was only 30,000 gallons. So I can't imagine what that amount of water would do. But the point of this is nobody was stepping up. Nobody was saying, hey, this is insane. We can't do this. So I felt I had the right stuff to do it. And then I threw my name in the hat and here I am. And since then, I have been to many city halls, town hall meetings, and I have learned that a lot of the small towns are dying. So it's added more fuel to my fire to be doing this.
I love it. And you know what? I've had multiple guests on from Lafayette and in the Tippy area. Again, you guys are talking about the same thing, the same water crisis where they're trying to divert water and basically, you know, starve communities from the Wabash River and destroy the Wabash River. These are real issues that are happening in our communities. And look how many candidates that are talking about the same thing. We always talk about people, Democrats are supposed to have the same message. We don't need the same national message, but you need to have the message that speaks to your community. And both of you have just highlighted the exact same issues that are happening in your communities. You know, Laura, tell us why you decided to run for office.
Well, quite frankly, I decided to run because my opponent was going to be unopposed. You know, I mean, I was mad. You know, I'm mad because we pay a lot of taxes. And if we don't have guaranteed services, then that's not fair to any of us. And I put my name on the ballot the very last day at the last minute because I was just like, I'll be damned if he's going to get it without a fight. So I'm willing to fight for every resident, no matter what side of the aisle they're on. This is a local thing. I've had people question me about national issues, things like that. That's not in my wheelhouse. I am fighting for the things that I can change right here in my community.
Yeah, I love that. I tell candidates all the time, when you're out campaigning and doing your thing, you know, run for, talk about the office that you're running for, right? If you're running for county commissioner, you ain't supposed to be talking about what the state house does, and the state house, you ain't supposed to be talking about what's going on at the federal level. You're supposed to be talking about the job that you're applying for. And I love that you say that. And I know it can be hard, right? Because I know you both probably live in relatively red districts. Yes. Yeah.
Oh, yes.
So when you're out there knocking doors, and either one of you can go first. It doesn't matter. When you're out there knocking doors and you automatically get that, you know, well, what are you, an R&D, and then you can see that they're dug in on the magnet, whatever that is. How do y'all get past that? How do y'all get through to be able to even have a conversation with these folks?
Well, I usually try to have a conversation, but if it's MAGA, they just shut me down. I've had a couple doors slammed in my face, or they just keep repeating, I'm a conservative. I support Trump. I support Trump. They don't want to hear anything that I have to say. And at that point, I'm done. Just walk away. Can't argue with people that have closed minds.
What about you, Laura?
Well, I just let them know that, you know, I'm not there to sway them on who they vote for or nationally. I'm concerned if they're going to have an ambulance in their driveway when they call 911.
Yeah. Oh, love
you know, I mean, they can argue with me about certain things that they feel that they're passionate about, but I just let them know that it doesn't matter to me what side of the aisle they're on. I care about them regardless. I care about everyone. Yes, I'm mad that my taxes are high. Yes, I'm not happy with certain things that are going on, but I'm going to focus on, and I try to let them know that I'm going to focus on the things that are in my wheelhouse, as they always say. My wheelhouse is the things that the contracts for EMS service, our local landfill, you know, our roads and bridges in the county roads, anything. And I've also let them know that I'm going to be accessible. We have a big problem here with accessibility. We have a lot of people that have complaints, and they email our commissioners, they call the commissioners' offices, they leave messages, and they're not being returned. Accessibility, yes. So I want to be accessible for those people. It's like I told him, I said, you know, I'm going to work for everybody regardless. And if you have a question or concern, you know, if you email me at 2 a.m., I might still be up because I'm a night owl. I might not be, but I'm going to get with you within 24 hours. You're going to get some kind of response from me that, hey, I'll look into this. I'll see if I can fix this, or this is not something that a commissioner usually does, but I can get you in touch with the person that does handle this.
Oh, we know you up listening to that scanner at 2:00 in the morning. Quit playing. So,
you know, sometimes that's when the stuff happens.
Oh gosh, yes. I mean, listen, when you're 54, you stay home when it's late. But I remember being young out in them streets, So
Oh yeah.
every candidate has like three main issues that they want to highlight. This is where we get to talk about policy, right?
Mhm.
Dan, highlight the three main issues that you are running this campaign on.
LEAP project, obviously, and
Yep.
how the IEDC is just corrupt. That's just one topic. Women's rights, of course,
Mhm.
that's a big one. And then LGBTQ rights are high up there for me, but I have learned that these small towns are dying, and it's partly due to water infrastructure and public education. So it's kind of a tie with the water infrastructure and public education. But that's a big one with me, is public education.
So okay, well let's talk about public education. What do you feel about it, bro?
Well, the system is definitely declining. They're taking money away from it and putting in other stuff. Great example, the IEDC spent $28.7 billion last year buying up property, farmlands to build these types of projects. That money could have been used to either go into the school system, or like Colfax, Mulberry, Kirkland, their water system has failed completely.
Mm.
They're all on boil orders. Colfax needs $5.2 million for a new system. Mulberry needs $5.8 million for a new system. Kirkland needs $5.6 million. If you're called the Indiana Economic Development Committee, don't you think you should be developing these communities so they can grow?
Mm.
But the next thing is, I don't know if you happen to listen to this State Board of Education meeting yesterday, but they talked about the new diploma, the GPS and GPS Plus. If you are not aware of the things that are coming, they have broken the diplomas into two sections, and both right now are not even acceptable at any of the colleges in the U.S. Purdue has already said, we will not take these high school diplomas. So now they're trying to reconfigure the GPS Plus, and they're working with Purdue to try and make it acceptable. But if you want the GPS diploma, you then get to have three different seals. The first one is just a general, which is not even good enough to do anything. It's just you get a piece of paper. But if you decide, like me, I went to college at 27. If a student is in high school and gets the GPS diploma, and they decide 10 years later they want to go to college, they can't. Their diploma's not good. There's a lot of cuts coming. Oh, the other two seals, the employment seal. This ties in with I apologize, I don't remember the bill, but it was passed that 14-year-olds can work 30 hours a week.
Yes, I know that bill.
So that ties in with the employment seal, the seal. They'll have the students work 3 days a week and in-class work 2 days a week. To me, this on-the-job experience is very important for anyone. But to me, this is just another way that corporations can offer lower wages and get cheap labor for themselves. And it's dumbing down the education, because when that 14-year-old that has to pick what they want to do with their life, I'm 40. I don't even know what I want to do with my life.
Yeah.
They will then make an education plan, a path for them to take. And that's what leads them through into the senior year, and they can graduate and go into the workforce. But they just have basically a trade degree at that point, not a high school diploma of well-rounded education. You can take the enlistment seal and you work with a recruiter when you're 40, or whatever branch that you want to go into. They'll help pick out a job, like you figure out what you want to do, and then your career path is set. Now, you go to college, you pick your major. Sometimes you get into it, you don't like it, so you want to change it. Not a big deal. Students, and the high school students, can do the same thing, but unfortunately, you start back at square one. So if you get in there freshman year, you do all that work and get into the field and realize this really isn't for me. So sophomore year, you say, I'm going to change it. Okay, start over. And of course, they encourage them that they can double up the courses so they can finish on time.
What the hell?
Or delays it. On top of that,
I gotta drop a link about this. Keep talking. What was it called again? The GPS.
Go to the Indiana School Board website and go to board meetings, because they don't have all this written on the website. This is the first draft that they did. This was all discussed yesterday in their 4-hour board meeting.
Oh, wow.
So on top of the going to work 3 days a week, the parents are in charge of transportation. So then that puts the burden on the parent at that point. On top of that, you are losing fine arts, performance arts, no band, no art, no theater, no music, nothing. You want to learn a second language? Gone. U.S. history and world history? Gone.
What?
Yep.
That's
I swear, when I told someone this today, they're like, "You're making this up. It sounds like a bad movie. It sounds like a horrible movie, but it's all right there on video. You can hear them talking about it, and students, how heartfelt they are, how they don't want to see this happen." There were a lot of seniors there that I was just, it warmed my heart to see them stick up for the future students that are coming in. Like, they're getting ready to graduate. It doesn't affect them at all, but they don't want to see new students come in and just fail because of this insane plan.
Oh my God, that is scary because I'm gonna tell you what I see. I mean, I'm always thinking, from a person who is a minority or a woman, and we already had, some school systems that would put little black kids and little black, kids on a slower track from white kids anyway, or Hispanic kids, or in here in IPS where they're trying to divide up the same school system so that people with means could go to one school and the school without means can't. This is sad. And who are these actual educators, people in education science that are coming up with these things?
It's the school board. I don't know their credentials. I don't know their background. I just know that I saw names and I had to stalk them on Facebook, and they are Republican.
Okay, well, I dropped the link into the live chat on Facebook, and then I'll make sure when I do the recording, I will include those links in the recording so that you guys can watch those later, because this sounds really scary. The fact that the Purdue University, one of our universities, said we will not accept the diplomas that you are issuing to young people should have made them stop with their tracks unless they want a bunch of dumb people walking around Indiana.
Yeah, so hopefully, they said this was the first draft. The second draft, they're going to try and push it out to August for the next meeting, but they said they'll definitely have it out in September. They said they'll take the public comments into consideration and then hopefully apply it. And then they're wanting to have the third draft and the final draft done by the end of this year, but it won't go into effect until 2029.
So what did they even indicate why they felt like they needed a new diploma system?
Just they said the education system is failing. The test scores are getting lower. Like, they were showing what was it? The iLearn assessments. Everything has dropped at least 1.5% every year in math and English stuff, to the science. So you feel like this system was designed in Sweden. It's how they operate, but they're such a smaller country and they're adapted and used to this. They've done it forever. You can't get something of that nature on such a global scale. And I know Indiana is trying to be the innovators in the system to try and be the first state to get out there and do it.
Yeah, they always want to use Indiana as the incubator for something crazy. That's how we got this crazy mess of school choice. And we also have to remember places like Sweden and those Nordic countries are pretty much, monolithic. They're pretty much, they don't have the diversity, and I'm going to watch it just because now I'm curious.
Be warned, it's 4 hours long. So
I'll listen to it in the background when I'm working. That's what I'll end up doing, because that's what I end up doing for the State House when I'm listening to the State House. Wow, that's interesting news, y'all. You listen to if you listen to Turn Left, we're gonna give you some information for you to use later on and for you to go research some things. Wow, thank you, Dan, for bringing that to our attention. That's huge. That is very huge. That's as big as Project 2025. Oh wait. Laura, what are your 3 main reasons for running for commissioner?
Well, the public safety issue is the biggest for me. That's number one. To get a new service provider, I'd love to do countywide. It's been proven in other counties around us I don't think there's any reason why a county our size with 135,000 residents shouldn't have their own standalone EMS service. You know, I would have another big thing for me is to just, quite frankly, look into all the contracts with, since there was such a big concern about the EMS contract and how it was signed over and over again, even though the stipulations in the contract for run times was not met, but it was still being signed over and over again. It was like we had a buddy system, if you get my drift. I would like to look at the other contracts that have been signed for any other kind of service providers that we have in the county. That would be a big concern for me also. We do have some issues. I've been studying a little bit with the landfill. We have a local landfill. And I'm starting to learn. There's a lot of things that I don't know that I'm not afraid to learn.
Okay, that's what, yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
I'm, you know, the EMS, that and public safety, fire, things like that, police, that has always been something that I'm familiar with. I have people ask me about different types of energy. I'm also doing research on that. I want to be well informed before I make any decisions. And I also want to have multiple contract, like when a contract comes up that we have work to do in the county, I want multiple bids.
Yes.
I don't want just, hey, my friend Joe has this business, wink, wink, and he'll make sure that you get this or that. I'm not going to do favors for anybody. You know, I might make a whole lot of people mad.
But, honey, if I ain't making people mad, I ain't breathing.
That's the way I am too.
You know, do you think you'll be able to maybe, you know, because it sounds like that the previous guy left a really negative culture in the community. You know, what do you think is going to take, and I'm gonna get back to your points, but this is really big. What do you think needs to happen to break the culture of, you know, I'm just going to give it to my homeboy. I'm going to give the contract.
Just, if our citizens are fed up enough to make the change, which I feel that they are, and they put people like myself and several other people that we have running on our ticket here locally, I think we can make some real change. I really do. We can get that network out. And that network, the main player, it's starting to trickle down into some of the other players. And I think that there's probably more to come. I can't speak on that because I don't know what all is going on, but what I have, you know, seen come out just in the news, you know, I mean, he got to a point where he didn't get there by himself.
Right.
Right. You know,
Enablers.
Right now he's, yeah. And he's, he got more than 60 days in. He's still in. So.
Okay. Okay. Now you said something about the landfill. And I know you said you're still learning about it, but what's going on with the landfill? What are you hearing from your constituents?
Well, not really from the constituents. I've heard, so I watch every county commissioner meeting. There's bonds that, are used to operate for the operating funds for the landfill. And I know that the landfill is probably pretty close, if not at capacity. And I do know that they have bonds that they're using to I believe, build a wall. So I'm still learning a lot about that.
Okay. Did I hear at one point they were trying to build a community on the landfill, or there is a community on the landfill, or maybe the landfill took over a community? I don't know. I thought I heard something. My buddy Miguel be telling me, Miguel Hampton, he always telling me something going on down there. Maybe I got that wrong.
Yeah. And not that I'm aware of. The landfill is close to Borden, if it's not in Borden, but that's just actually up the road from where I live.
Wow.
So
I would be.
That is kind of a concern in our area.
Yeah. See, I'd be worried if I lived over there and there was a landfill, and I've seen quite a few of the landfills. Right. There's definitely one up 31. They're all over the place. Right. I'll be worried about the groundwater. Is do they have provisions to test the ground?
Yeah, and that's one thing I believe the EPA does come in, and there's also a lake there. There's Deems Lake that is real close to that, and the EPA does come in and they test. I'm not exactly sure how often, but they do put out a report on the levels of any kind of toxins at all. Usually it's not from anything at the landfill. What I've seen has been more like a something natural, like a mold type algae, like an algae.
Yeah.
That some of our lakes in Indiana, not only here, but some up north, I know have been closed at some point for fishing and things because of that algae growth.
Okay. Okay.
So, but like I said, I'm really, I'm kind of trying to be a sponge and soak up as much education about that as I can.
I love it. I mean, and that's what a good servant leader does, right? No one expects anyone to have all of the answers. I don't know. Mr. Sykes been in the military and got 3, 4, 5 degrees. He might know everything. He might, but no one expects everyone. You know what I'm saying? And the fact that you are willing to be vulnerable and say, "Hey, I'm still learning," that speaks volumes, right?
Yes.
That means you're going to listen. You're going to be.
I want to get everybody's viewpoint too. I don't want to be I don't want to be one-sided. You know, I want to be able to get everyone's view, you know,
and then make your decision.
I can't make people, and I can't make people come to the commissioners' meetings, but I want to make sure that they're open to everybody. I'd love to have them live streamed. I would love to be able to be always available to the public to answer questions. Like I said, if they come at me with a question and I don't know the answer, I want to find out too.
Well, good. Well, I'm glad you said that, because just this year they passed legislation in the State House that requires every council meeting to be live streamed, and it has to be archived. Yes. I know that I was talking to some folks over at AIM, which is the not AIM, ILMCT, Indiana League of Municipal Clerk Treasurers. So it's a municipal thing, but they were talking about how all their meetings need to be live streamed. And if any of you entities out there that don't have a lot of money, you need somebody to help you live stream, I'm live streaming now. I got a whole business. You should reach out to Black Pearl IT Solutions. I'll help you. I'm just saying. I can make it happen. You know what, guys, this has been great because, one of the cool things about doing this show on Turn Left, I get a chance to talk to so many people from around the state. I get it. And because we're doing it live streaming it, people can hear what the real issues are that are happening in your communities. Now, I am going to ask you something, Dan, that is going to be something that I'm not going to ask Laura, because she's running for county commissioner. She's speaking to one county. You have a much larger area that you will be representing, but the things that you will be voting on will impact all 92 counties, right? So talk about the impact that type of role will have on you and how you will look at situations. And we still have when you win, we may or may not take the majority. We'll still be in the minority. How will you work across the aisle with some of those people in that state house that I want to call names, but I'm not going to do that right now.
So I am the type to call people out for nonsense. So my plan when I get on the floor, I will try and work with the other side, because that's what it takes. It takes bipartisan action to make something take effect. And if I put all the logic out there, this will improve things, this can help this can help this. And if they say no, I will call them on the House floor so they can tell everybody why that's a no. Like, you tell me why you don't support this, and tell everybody else. And if it makes you look like a jerk, that's on you. And if it makes you look like a jerk, maybe, and you don't like it, maybe you should rethink your actions and your mannerisms to what you do towards the people that you are supposed to be representing.
I love it. I hope it works. I mean, because I sit and I watch it, and here's the thing that, I learned this from Ed Delaney, Representative Ed Delaney. The Republicans get together and they decide what bills they support. Like, all the bills come in and they in a back room somewhere, and they say, if we don't all support this bill, we're not even gonna call it to the floor. Like, they don't even. How do you do that? Like, that is so wrong. And that's and with the Maya Beckwith being the LG and the president of the Senate. Oh my God, I'm scared. I'm scared. So I want you to win.
I am too.
I want you
As
to
a
win.
woman, I'm scared
Oh.
too.
Listen, these people, man, I don't even understand why they think it's okay to treat a human, they can just dismiss other humans. You know what I'm saying? I think really what it is like they just don't want to compete. You know what I'm saying? Think about it. Everybody talks about making America great again. They think it was great that you can deny women access to employment. You can deny people of color access to employment, deny them education. They think that's great. They think that's great. I'm not fooled with that bullshit. I'm not. Sorry to my young listeners. It slipped. I'm just in my feelings about it because it just don't seem like enough people are upset about it to me. Guys, this was a great opportunity to get to know y'all and get to chat. So give me your elevator pitch for why I should vote for you.
Before I was a candidate, I was a voter. And I've voted in every election that I can since I turned 18. And since then, I've noticed my voice was just getting drowned out more and more. And everybody else around me was getting drowned out more and more. So I decided I need to be that voice. I want to be the ears of my community, of my district. And I want to be their voice. I want to be that person to have the seat at the table to represent their needs that they need to help their communities.
I love it. Give me your elevator pitch, Laura.
Well, it's like this. I tell them I'm mad. You should be too. And this is why. And this is why you need to vote for me, because I'll fix it. Or at least I'll try it.
I love it. Hey.
I'm going to give it a good shot because, right now things are dire. It just came across my feed that the commissioners were just told that EMS service cannot handle the county.
Right. Oh, good.
Just tonight in the commissioners meeting. So,
well, maybe they
they're going to be, they've been ignoring it. They've been ignoring it for a while now, and now it's right in their face. So,
and people are complaining, and now they want to oh, well, my people don't like it. Oh my goodness, we probably should, because they're gonna lose their election. Yeah. They're gonna lose their election. That's why it's not working for them anymore.
That's the goal. That's the goal. I want to,
these people.
Yeah, I just met my opponent last night, so.
That's all right. You ain't got to mention their name. Don't say their name.
Oh, I'm not.
I'm not gonna say their name.
Mine's the only name they need to worry about. That's in that little section right there, along with all my other running mates. But that District 2 commissioner, mine's the only name that they need to put that little circle in.
I love it. Be brash, be bold. All right, Dan, tell the people where they can find you.
citizensfordan.org. That's the letter or the word 4, not the number 4. I get that a lot. You can find links to my policies, what I plan to do if I'm elected, the issues of the district. And if you want to get some swag, like maybe a little rainbow pin or a build this wall window decal for representing separation of church and state, you can all get that at citizensfordan.org.
I usually don't do this because I feel like it's rude, because I feel like if you don't tell us, then it's not meant for me to ask. Are you in the community? Or you just love people in the community?
Oh, I'm pansexual.
Okay, thank you. I love it. Thank you. I usually don't ask, but it's like I was real confused because you had mentioned LGBTQ plus rights earlier, and then you said the rainbow pin. I'm like, wait a minute. Is this a super ally, or what do we have going on here? Is this
not super ally, just definitely implanted, and I'm very loud and proud.
I love it. Yes. Then we need to recruit you for Stonewall. Just checking.
Yeah, absolutely.
Love it. And do you have any events coming up?
Not currently. Okay. It's fair season. This week I'm at Boone County Fair. I'll be there tomorrow. Tomorrow's the last day. Next week I'll be at the Tippecanoe County 4-H Fair. And then the last week I'll be at the Boone County 4-H Fair. All
right. Well, you guys can go. If you're going to the fair, find Dan Sykes. He's not a little fella. You'll be able to find him. He's a robust man. Laura, tell the people where they can find you.
Well, they can find me tonight at the county fair. Yeah, we're out there. I'm giving away a lot of swag there. I'll be at the county fair again tomorrow night.
Okay.
We have several events coming up, fundraisers, local District 9 fundraisers, things like that. You can catch me at. I have a website. It's Laura, the number 4, commissioner.com. I also have Facebook, but all my links are on my website, and they can get a hold of me there. They can volunteer.
Yeah.
They can walk in parades. We've got some more parades coming up. I'll make them a shirt,
Okay.
some swag, and that they can walk. I give out lots of things for the kids, fire hats, frisbees, things like that. You know, I'm out and about a lot. If you can find me at car shows, I have an old 65 Mustang that I go to car shows.
No, you don't. You should have led the interview with that.
I do. Girl, I'm telling you, I told a guy the other day, I told him, I said, I might be in my 65 Mustang. I might be on my Harley. You don't know how I'm going to pull up. I might be a grandma, but hey, I'm tattooed. I ride a motorcycle. You never know.
But what color is your 65 Mustang now?
It is Rangoon red.
You have my second dream, actually my third dream car. You have my third dream car, because my first is the 3rd generation IROC black T-top, right?
Yeah, okay.
And my second is the 78 bubble wheel Corvette. And the third is the 65 candy apple red.
Oh,
Mustang,
there you go. Yeah.
Drop top.
Yeah, mine's got the pony interior, and it's all original. I usually win the most original, or one of the most originals at every car show I put her in. I call her Mrs. Ford.
Okay. Now, see, when I come down there to visit Miguel or my buddy Alex, I'm going to hit
Look
you
me
up.
We'll go.
Oh my God. I see.
Or I'll give you a ride on the back of my Harley, girl.
Well, see, okay, now, I'm gonna be honest with you. I've never been on a motorcycle in my entire life, and I might be too afraid at this point, this juncture.
Nah, it'll be all right.
Because falling, you just ain't gonna heal the same when you at this age. So I'll take a ride in the Mustang, but I'm gonna be a little chicken with the Harley. I ain't gonna lie, unless you got a 3-wheeler. You know what I'm saying?
I do. I have a trike now. I used to have 2 wheels, but after I had breast cancer 9 years ago, I was a little shaky after that, so I went to 3 wheels.
Mercy, it sounds like you didn't tell us a lot that we probably could have known about you.
Yeah, I'm a breast cancer survivor also. So yeah, I've got a lot of So
wow,
there's a lot to me. There's a lot to me.
Well, you was being stingy. I told you to tell us who you were. See, and Dan was being stingy too. All y'all being just stingy. The interview to get to know you. You should told us more. I love it. No, this was great. This was great. This was great. You know what, guys? I really do wish you the best of luck. Let me know if there's a way that I can help you guys out. Like I said, I'm traveling most of August, but if there's something that I can do to help your campaign, or if, just share information out about what you guys are doing, just let me know. I have a team action page, and I share all that stuff out on the team action page. But this was great that we got a chance to talk, and I know what fires Dan up. If public education fires up Dan, and I know the EMS and public safety fires up Laura. So if you care about those two things, these are your folks, and you should consider helping them. Thanks so much. Don't hang up yet. Don't hang up yet, guys. Look. This is where we are. These are the candidates that we have. We've gone through the primary. We've had an opportunity to meet some amazing people all year long, where people care about your community. They care about your government. They care about everything that's happening around the world. I just think we have an amazing slate of candidates everywhere. And it's just a matter of us just saying that we are going to do what's necessary to vote. We're going to get out and vote. We're not going to stay home. We're going to take a friend with us, and we're just going to go and vote, and we're going to vote our conscience, right? People ask me all the time, why should I be a Democrat? Why should I be this? I said, I'm not going to tell you what you should be. I'm going to tell you to look at the policies that are being written, right? And see who's writing those policies, and that's how you vote, right? That's how you do that. And then if those policies align, then do your thing. If you like big tax breaks because you sitting on $18 gazillion, then do what you do. But if you're a single mom trying to get your kid back and forth to school, and you working as an admin, a systems admin, I'm not even gonna make it a sys admin, and you're trying to keep food on the table, then look at the policies that are being written to make it harder for your child to get access to public education. I'm just saying. One party is making sure that the future is smart, bright, and well-rounded, and the other one wants to restrict access to books. I'm just saying. But look, I have one more show before I'm going to be off for a month, and I really do apologize to all of the candidates who I will not be able to get on. Couple things. I have one more show, and then I'm going to do a live show from French Lick. We're going to do another live show from the porch at French Lick. So maybe I am having a show in August, but it's going to be a different one. And hopefully we'll bring on a couple of the candidates. We'll try to bring whoever shows up to the recording of the show. I'll make sure that I give you guys a chance to see what's happening. Hopefully some party leaders will be there. So I believe that'll be on the 2nd. It'll be August the 2nd. I'm going to be on that. August the 2nd. It's either the 2nd or the 3rd. One of those 2 days. That we'll have the turn left. And then mark your calendars. I have confirmed over that I will have Jennifer McCormick on September 12th. I know you guys want to have a chat with her. You know that. And I've reached out to see if we can get Terry Gooden on at the same time because we're doing remote. We haven't actually confirmed that just yet, but we will have Jennifer McCormick on September 12th. I am also working diligently to try to get Representative Frank Mervan. I've never had a chance to have him on the show. I'm going to try to reach out to his people again. I'm running out of slots, but I would love to talk to the congressman. We haven't heard from him on Turn Left, so hopefully we can get him on the show. Plus, I want some more people from the region. I want to know what's going on in Northwest Indiana. We need to talk about it. I've been talking about the South. I talked about Fort Wayne. I talked about Terre Haute. I've even been in South Bend. I've not been in the region. So I want to hear from District 1. So if you guys could help a sister out, drop a line. All right, guys, I really do love doing this show. I had a great time at the convention. Thank you guys for all the kind words for my speech. I really do appreciate it. It gives me hope. Words of affirmation are my love language. It's my love language. So thank you for the words of affirmation. I really do appreciate it. I love inspiring and working and trying to get people hyped up and get y'all off your feet. So thank you very much for all the kind words that you gave me. But that's the show tonight. We're going to have some more for you next week. But in the meantime, I'll holler at you next time. Peace.
Turn Left is the property of Black Pearl IT Solutions. Executive producer, Indiana's own Dana Black. Music by www.bensound.com.